Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Kruger here from Weather NorCal. You're watching Coffee with Kruger, and I'm enjoying my cup of coffee. You know, by this time, I'm usually on my second cup of coffee because I'm up by 3:30 in the morning, getting the forecast prepared for the regular update that gets uploaded to YouTube and it's mentioned through Facebook between 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Then, of course, I've got to record the Kruger's Quick Cast. If you're in a hurry and need a quick look at the forecast here, you can go to that in about a minute. So be sure to check that out. How's everybody doing this morning? It is Thursday, June 27th. I'm still hoping to get on out to Turtle Bay tomorrow, Sundial Bridge, and do a live Coffee with Kruger out there in celebration of the Celebrate 20. Of course, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Sundial Bridge out there at Turtle Bay. So I've got access to hopefully some Wi-Fi. They were telling me, the person my contact said that they would send me the password. I haven't received it yet, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, I'm tentatively scheduled to be out there tomorrow, so be sure to join me if you can head on out to the Sundial Bridge tomorrow morning. I'll be there, probably early in the morning, and then getting ready to do the live broadcast at 7 a.m. So that should be a lot of fun. We have got this morning, looks like we've got some early risers this morning. We have got coming in from Wanda saying, good morning from Oroville. Well, good morning to you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, especially out in Butte County. It's always nice to see some of the people that are kind of away from Redding. Of course, as you know, I'm centered right here in Redding, but I am able to cover a broad area, including Oroville. So Wanda, thank you so much for not only watching, but chiming in this morning, just saying good morning. It looks like we are starting off the morning to a cooler start than we've seen here. This is really nice to see, actually. 65 degrees for Redding, 68 in Chico. You know, especially when we're dealing with these hot temperatures, it's nice to see these cooler starts to the day. Now, it was a little breezy out there this morning, especially in North Redding. Those winds, for the most part, have died down at this point, but there you can see about 55 degrees for Susanville. Alturas, about 49 degrees, 44 degrees in Bernie. And, of course, temperatures in the low to mid-50s along the coast. Now, we are seeing that lower visibility out in the Crescent City area. Before we get to the fires here, I'm going to show you the sunset camera here out in Crescent City. But, I guess it depends on where you're looking at. Based on this, I'm seeing clear skies. But this is out kind of in southern portions of Crescent City. If you head north, it looks like there may be some fog up there, and that may be where we're seeing the observation coming in from the weather station. But it looks like that is starting to burn off and back away from the coast out there this morning. So again, it probably just depends on where you are in Crescent City this morning, so kind of interesting there. I'd show you the elk camera, but unfortunately that is down this morning. I checked on it this morning. Let's get you out the door this morning, and it's, again, as I mentioned, a cooler start to the day. Should drop down to the 60s. We've already dropped down to the 60s this morning, back in the mid to upper 60s by 8 o'clock this morning. Temperatures mainly in the 50s for the higher elevations, and not to mention even the coast, although in the eastern mountains around Susanville should be in the low 60s. All right, tell you what, before we get to the Apache fire and all that good stuff, we are going to show you what we're seeing here on the Watch Duty app this morning. Now, two fires that we're really watching here very closely locally. And that is number one, the Clear Fire that you can see right here. That's at approximately 700 acres right now. Now, I don't see any evacuation warnings or orders or anything of that nature. It's at 700 acres right now. We don't have a fire perimeter at this point, but updated as of 19 minutes ago, coming in from CAL FIRE shows the fire is 45% contained. Let's see what we got coming in from CAL FIRE this morning. Again, this was just updated just a few minutes ago, actually. So there you can see no smoke really, it looks like. So it looks like things are in pretty good shape here. So it started on the 26th, which was yesterday, north of Clear Lake. And it says cause is still under investigation. So that's the kind of the latest on the Clear Fire right now. Let's get out of there and we'll take you now to the south where we've got another fire that we've got our eyes on, and that's the Apache Fire. Now notice it's not the complete orange icon, and let me show you the legend here. You see how it, right below active incident, right here it says active incident, but more than 50% contained. So that's what we're looking at right now with the Apache Fire. In fact, also, not too long ago, is updated from CAL FIRE that it is now 75% contained. So this is great news, right? So what I wanted to show you here, you saw this just a couple of seconds ago from the Apache Fire. This is coming in from the satellite. So what the satellite does is it can detect heat signatures. All right, so that yellow there, that is 3 days old. And what that means is 3 days ago, that's the last time the satellite was able to pick up any heat signature from the fire. So what this tells us is that there hasn't been any recent activity. And of course, now that it's 75% contained, things are looking better. Now, right now, the winds are not all that strong, but I do anticipate, especially for the west side of Tehama County and the south end of Shasta County, to maybe see some stronger winds. So again, not that bad for the first half of the day, but later this afternoon, there it is. Those winds kind of picking up, especially off in Tehama County and western southwestern portions of Shasta County as well. Now you'll notice the humidity is still rather low for today. We're going to be in the single digits and teens for the valley. So what that means for a fire weather risk, it's not that bad through at least the middle of the afternoon. But as I mentioned, as those winds pick up, we'll probably see that fire danger elevate a little bit here as those winds pick up, especially for western Tehama County. There's all the monsoon moisture in the right of your screen there. There's also some clouds off to our west. We may see some passing high clouds from most of Northern California, but shouldn't be that big of a deal. A lot of the fog and low clouds that we're seeing along the coast, I think, should burn off. I think we'll see some burning off of some, but not all of the fog. And then it looks like it does come back, especially in Humboldt County later this afternoon and evening, and not to mention probably going into tonight. Kind of interesting. I wanted to show you the calendar for June and where we're standing so far with those temperatures. Now, this month is when we did reach the hottest temperature of the year that we've seen so far, which was June 12th with a high of 107 degrees. Now, we're looking at Redding, just kind of give you a general idea. Now, if you look between, June 20th and June 23rd, we saw 5 consecutive days of 100 plus degree temperatures. So where does that put us in the grand scheme of things? Well, number one, we take a look at the number of 100 plus degree days that we've seen so far this year, and that was 11 days. Last year at this point, we were at 5 days, but the record since 1893 for Redding at the airport, actually just Redding, was 20 days. So we're kind of right there in the middle between last year and the record. Now, when we look at the consecutive number of days that we've seen 100 plus degree temperatures through June, so far this year, 5 days, as I mentioned, right? But 2 years ago, at this point in time, we were 9 days. And the record set in 1961 was June 13th through June 27th of 15 consecutive days of 100 plus degree temperatures. Now, the reason I'm bringing these numbers up, I was actually talking to someone yesterday, and they were saying, really in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't feel like the temperatures have really been all that bad. And, I have to agree. I think others may not, but it just depends on how you look at things. But looking at these statistics that we just did, it kind of does show that, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we've seen 100 plus degree temperatures, but nothing too terribly unusual for this time of the year. So there you can see the temperatures today. We've got this cooling trend, and I've been talking about this all week long. It peaks today. So we're talking low to maybe some mid-90s this afternoon in the valley. And for the mountains, 70s, some 80s, not to mention those low 60s along the coast. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley. Temperatures go up, back up. In fact, what's happening is the peak of the cooling trends today, we're going to level off in the upper 90s to about 100 degrees here for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then you'll notice temperatures start to increase again And there it is. Could we see 110 degrees for the first time in Reading this year on Wednesday of next week? Only time will tell, but it's looking pretty promising. Your 7-day outlook for the coast, actually also seeing that increase in the temperatures. And honestly, to see 70 degrees for the coast, middle to latter part of next week wouldn't be out of the question. But look at this, inland back up to 100 degrees, and Weaverville 101 degrees by next Tuesday, 104 by next Wednesday. We take a look at Mount Shasta, Alturas, and Susanville, most likely staying below 100, but it's getting warm. I mean, we're getting in the mid to even upper 90s for some of those warmer spots here for some of the higher elevations. Here's a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay camera there. Winds are fairly calm this morning over there. Looks like we got they look like actually some geese. A gaggle of geese, right? That's what they call it, a gaggle of geese. Something like that. I think those are geese. They look like geese to me. And if they're ducks, is it a gaggle of ducks? What is it? Is it a flock of ducks? A group of ducks? A school? No, that's fish. Main Street, Chico, looks like things are looking pretty good there. We take you out to Highway 99 at Neal Road. Looks like things are okay there as well as far as traffic is concerned. Take a look at Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive, and looks like we've got some traffic out there this morning. And here is our picture of the day. Thank you to Tracy Sackett for sending in this image. She calls it "Butterfly Resting on a Rose Bush." And always so nice to see that, and a nice close-up shot. Well composed shot. Phones these days, they're pretty amazing though, right? I mean, you got that what we call bokeh, that blurred out background. It really helps to make that butterfly stand out. Great shot. Want to thank Tracy. And if you want to share your picture and see it right here on Coffee with Kruger or on the morning update, you can do that. People take pictures from their phones every day, and you can very easily share those to Weather NorCal from the free Weather NorCal app. Just download the app for free today. Just search for Weather NorCal in your app store, and before you know it, you've got that app right there on your phone. All right, good morning, everyone. Let's check in with everybody, see how you're doing this morning, and we have got some people kind of checking in this morning. We're going to go ahead and send this one out. This is a whole process I've got to do to share this, but I think it's kind of fun. Good morning from Elaine. Saying good morning, Mike. Enjoy that cup of coffee and stay cool. We've also got Tracy Sackett coming in this morning saying good morning from MacArthur. Breezy and cool this morning. So I'm guessing that Tracy, that image of the butterfly was in MacArthur. We've also got Rebecca Lynn coming in from Paradise saying good morning. Looks like your profile picture there is maybe enjoying some, is that a pool? I don't know. But it looks nice out there in Paradise. And we have got Curtis Brown coming in this morning saying, looks like next week we'll some early morning weed eating. Oh yeah, you'll have to do that because it's going to be so hot during the day. And Tracy saying, yes, it is from MacArthur. So yeah, thanks for kind of letting me know about that. That certainly is fun. Oh, you know what today is? We're not going to forget about that. But today is Thursday. And we have got our NorCal Ag Report, which is sponsored by Lassen Candy Nursery. So 2 weeks ago, Jerry O'Lennon went to the Chico Thursday Night Market. And he just kind of highlighted the Thursday Night Market and how awesome it is. And then he was able to talk to a flower grower. And here is kind of an interesting interview. I had somebody who has a flower farm, I guess, and grows flowers.
Hi, I'm Jerry O'Lennon with Weather NorCal, and this is the Ag Report sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. I am with Craig Peluso. He is the owner of Pine Creek Flowers. It's you grow flowers here locally in Chico.
Right.
Tell me about it.
Well, this is our 7th year in business. Me and my wife started farming flowers just as a hobby, and she worked for Cal Organic Flowers previously, so she learned all the tips and tricks from them. She worked there for probably 5 years.
Is it a profitable business?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I mean, it's always it's like farming. It's up and down. You know, but we love doing it, and it's definitely fulfilling. So it works for now. Yeah.
How do you actually make money from growing your flowers? Do you sell them to various local shops, or how does that work?
Absolutely. We've worked with Flowers by Rochelle and Kristen and Johnson, but really we'd like to just use our website and the farmers market, of course. It's our mainstay as far as sales. The farmers market is where we make our bread and butter.
What's the key to making successful flowers?
Planning, definitely. You know, something's finishing up for the season, better have the next flower for the season ready to go, you know, no gap in between, really.
When people think of growers, they think of, strawberries and walnuts and almonds. A lot of people don't think of flowers. Certainly I didn't.
Well, you know, maybe it's not the first thing on your mind, but you see some images or paintings, farmers market, stuff. The flowers are always there.
What are the favorite flowers that people seem to enjoy the most?
Oh man, definitely peonies. Always peonies.
Peonies means?
It's a large, once a year perennial that comes usually around Mother's Day. Moms love peonies.
Is that and Valentine's Day your biggest season?
Surprisingly, Mother's Day and Easter.
Yeah.
Everyone wants flowers on Easter, and they're always neck and neck as far as the busiest day.
Well, Craig, your flowers certainly are beautiful. You're doing a great job. Craig Peluso?
Yes.
Of Pine Creek Flowers, thank you so much. And there you have it, another episode all wrapped up of the Ag Report. I'm Jerry O'Lennon for Weather NorCal.
And here's a look at the pinecreekflowers.com website here. You can see you can shop here. You can also get involved with the CSA. And it looks like they have a sold out. So yeah, it looks like it is something that is in high demand as they are selling things out. We got dahlia tubers, local delivery that you can get involved here as well. There's weddings. You can also find out their local flowers. So you can go to the farmers market Thursday. That is today from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. You can go check them out and see all of their flowers out there. They also have a Saturday market that they go to from 7:30 to 1 p.m. year-round, and the Sunday market. So they are out there at all the different markets, have a lot of great ways. Of course, they do those local deliveries as well. So be sure to check them out if you're out in the Chico area and want to get some local flowers and support those local growers. That's always nice. So I want to thank Jerry for sending in that. As you know, this is our 1-year anniversary. And of course, we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary. June 20th was the 1-year anniversary. So I have been going to all of the sponsors, and I've still got a few more I've got to go to, but I've been going to the sponsors and I have been interviewing them and kind of highlighting our sponsors as a way to give gratitude to them. So today we're going to take a look at the first. Now, once I got the sponsorship from Crown Motors, the primary sponsorship, that was my green light to go out and find everyday sponsors, right? So the first door that I knocked on was Dennis's Heating and Air. And you know what's cool? Is they were the first ones. I was scared. I was scared to be a salesman. I had to go out and sell, right? I had to become a salesman. And so it was definitely a scary thing, but I made my first presentation to everyday advertising to Dennis's Heating and Air, and they took it. And you know what's awesome? They're signing on for another year. This is so exciting. So without further ado, let's take a look and learn more about Dennis's Heating and Air. Hello everyone, Mike Kruger from Weather NorCal, and of course, as you know, this is the 1-year anniversary that we're celebrating here of Weather NorCal. But we're also, and really want to celebrate the people who make Weather NorCal possible, and that is our sponsors. Now, I love this story of Dennis's Heating and Air because when I first got Crown Motors to be my major sponsor, I then went out to get other sponsors. That was my green light saying, hey, this is going to be a success, let's do it. You all were the first ones that I knocked on the door, and you were the first ones to actually say yes. So not only did I just start looking for advertising, I was scared to become a salesperson, but you guys accepted.
Absolutely.
What was one of the reasons why you guys decided? This was a year before I even launched.
Just everything you talked about was I mean, it seemed like it was a good fit. You did your homework, due diligence, so why not help someone out when we can?
Well,
that's the way it goes.
I appreciate that, of course. You know, but it's not just heating and air. Let's talk about, first of all, your company. Early '80s, your dad Dennis is Heating and Air.
Correct.
Started up the company.
Yeah, he actually started. We moved up here from Southern California in I think 1980, and he started this business in Cottonwood under an oak tree. And I kid you not, he worked 7 days a week, non-stop to make the business, you know, and got it big. And then 17 years ago, he was burnt out and tired. It was time to exit, and I couldn't blame him.
Yeah.
And I couldn't let the employees that were here, I think there was like 10 employees, could not let them go without a job. So that's when I stepped in and said, hey, I'll go for it too. And
that's awesome.
And the rest is history.
And so, and we were kind of talking earlier, Dennis's Heating and Air. Since the early '80s, you took over. You're second generation. You're already thinking ahead and got third generation. So this is going to just keep on
Correct.
going.
Yes.
So heating and air, you do residential and commercial. Sell, you install new air conditioning and heating, right?
We do anything. If you have existing, we'll remove and put new on there. We do service work. We actually do multi-family houses, and we don't just stay in Shasta County. We have actually crews all the way down in Sacramento, Elk Grove, and stuff like that.
And then what about like going to the coast and all that kind of stuff?
The coast we don't go too much.
Because they don't really need air conditioning.
Yes, but we do go up north. We do go north, pretty much to the Oregon border.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not just heating and air.
Nope.
We are sitting in your fabrication shop. So what goes on in here?
Well, put it this way, we typically have about 4 fabricators in there most of the time, sometimes down to 3, but we do stuff for roofing contractors, flashing, and people bring in anything. We pride ourselves on saying that if you can draw it or put it on paper, our guys can build it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
So it was kind of those things. So we have this thing right here.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So this is something you guys made, right?
Correct.
So
Yep.
what exactly is this, number one?
This goes on a chimney for a chimney stack you see built up there, and this is what they call a decorative cap. Of course, it needs to be painted to make it look nice and clean, and it's a downscaled size, but just to give people an idea of what we could fabricate for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one example.
Correct.
And this is probably covering up your face. We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But
No, you're good.
that's just one example. So there's just so many things that you do in
You would not believe what we build. We actually have Conex bins out back that are completely full of metal fabricated products that we have to store to ship out.
Wow.
Yeah. And we build them for other, actually, I hate to say, but we build for other HVAC companies as well.
Well, that is excellent. And like I say, I love what you guys do here. The heating and air, of course, the fabrication shop, and just the great history of your family. And this is a family-run operation, and you're going to continue this for generations to come.
Absolutely, yes.
So once again, thank you for your support of Weather NorCal. Without you all, and being the first ones,
You'll never forget us that way.
I will never forget you.
Yep.
So thanks again, and we will see you next time for another, just kind of highlighting the businesses that keep Weather NorCal afloat.
All right, so I'm a big fan of Dennis's Heating and Air, as you can clearly see here. Jeff is a great guy. I've gotten to know his wife, Bobby, as well. They are amazing, amazing people. And it was just one of those things where when I went into their office and I'm giving my presentation on Weather NorCal, it was just a dream at this point, right? It wasn't, it was just on paper. It was a presentation, and they were sold. And they were big fans, and they decided to go ahead and give it a shot. And the cool thing is, they signed on for a full year at the very beginning, a year before I even launched. They said we would like to sign on for a year. And I, of course, talked to them a few days ago. In fact, even just it was about a month ago. I got word from them that they wanted to sign on for another year. So I'm so grateful for their support and all of the other sponsor support, because again, there's so much truth behind this. I mean, as with any media source, even in TV, the reason TV stations are able to stay alive is why? Because of the sponsorships, because of the TV ads that you would see. So the reason you're seeing ads on Weather NorCal is because it's got to stay afloat. Otherwise, I would have to charge for this service, right? You would have to charge a subscription fee to get access to my videos and to my weather forecasts and all that stuff. But thanks to our sponsors, you're able to get all of that. So that's what I wanted to do for my 1 year anniversary, is to give thanks to all of my sponsors. So you're going to see more of those in the coming weeks. And we'll, of course, introduce you to all of the sponsors. I'm also going to be posting that video you just saw on social media, on Facebook. So you'll be able to kind of check that out as well. So if you are looking for the best heating and air service, heating and air that you need, or even fabricators that you heard there, go to Dennis's Heating and Air, and they will take care of you. You know, as he told me behind the scenes, he takes pride in making sure that they've got a good reputation. He said, we were talking, he says, much like you, Mike, who's got a great reputation, we too have a good reputation, and we stand behind everything we do. So they are upstanding people over there, Dennis's Heating and Air, and I highly recommend that you go to them the next time you have any heating or air conditioning needs, whether it's residential or business. Okay, we did that. We got you through it. And we got actually a couple of people here who are from earlier saying congratulations on the 1 year anniversary. So I want to thank you, Kim, for your well wishes. And we've also got Jim Carr saying, happy anniversary, Weather NorCal. Yes, June 20th was the 1 year anniversary. And of course, as I mentioned, we will be celebrating that 1 year anniversary by highlighting all of the sponsors here at Weather NorCal, because again, without them, Weather NorCal would not exist as we know it. All right, let's get you to the forecast here. Before you do that, we talk about one of our sponsors, and that is, well, of course, made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino, at least Coffee with Kruger, right? Because at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Okay, let's take a look at those current conditions out there right now. We are sitting at 65 degrees in Redding. Yeah, a nice, cool start to the day. You gotta love that. 49 degrees out in Alturas. You see 55 in Susanville. Oroville, a little bit warmer at about 67, 69 degrees for Corning, and 64 degrees for Willows. Of course, along the coast, those temperatures in the low to mid 50s. All right, so here's your weather headlines. The cooling trend, it peaks today. Get out and enjoy it. If there's a day you play hooky from work because of the cooler weather, you want to go out and enjoy some cooler weather for a hike, for example, maybe that's today. But the temperatures are going up and down over the next couple of days. In fact, we're really going to level those temperatures up. We're going to see a spike in our temperatures tomorrow, and then we'll kind of keep it around that, say around 100 degrees, give or take, for the valley at least, for tomorrow through the weekend, and then temperatures really start to increase for next week, which we'll take a look at that here a little bit later. But also the fire danger, that's decreasing for the most part, and that's going to help. So we take a look at the Apache fire. And this yellow here is saying, hey, this is about 3 days old. So what this is basically saying is there hasn't been any recent activity from the fire. And as of right now, of course, as you know, the fire up in Modoc County, I don't have any data outside of the fact that it is, last I checked, in fact, let's do this right now because I want to make sure that I get it accurate. Hold on a second, let me just get that going up here. There's the Apache fire at 691 acres. We take you up north to the Clear Fire, and that is 700 acres, and that's 45% contained. And of course, that was updated 43 minutes ago, somewhere around there. So that's the latest data coming in here. But the winds right now aren't all that bad. They're fairly calm, fairly light. But I do expect as we go into the afternoon today, you see the winds aren't that bad. A little bit breezy, especially out towards Plumas, eastern Lassen County. Still those north breezes along the coast. And as we go into about 6 o'clock this afternoon, look at the winds picking up, especially around Redding and Red Bluff. This is when I think we'll see elevated fire danger for a brief period of time here for this area, but not as bad anywhere else. Then we go into your Friday, and you can see here for Friday morning, actually, the winds are picking up a little bit here, a bit on the breezy side to start off the day on Friday, but the wind should die down going into Friday afternoon. But once again, still pretty breezy out there along the coast. Let's take a look at the humidity out there, and we're basically between the single digits and upper teens, and that'll be the case here as we go into your Friday. So no really big surprises here. We're talking about how dry it is out there. So the fire weather risk, yeah, through the day today, we're really not seeing anything of concern. However, you see how it gets a little elevated with those winds picking up later on this evening, but that should really die down as we go into your Friday. And Friday, we're kind of looking at kind of in that moderate to high range, especially for western Siskiyou County, or excuse me, I always want to say Siskiyou this morning, but Tehama County. But fairly low fire danger as you head into the higher elevations. But again, so overall, for the most part, the fire danger is decreasing. So let's take a look at the big heat for next week. So this is the cooler air that's over us today. That's off to our east tomorrow. That's moving out. The next batch of cooler air is actually going to be a little bit farther to the north than the one that's over us right now. And that's because this high pressure and this high pressure is building. It's getting stronger. And what it's doing is, as it builds stronger, it pushes that energy, the cooler air, farther to the north than what we're seeing here. So as a result, we're still not where the main heat is, but the warmer air is moving in. And that's why we're just going to kind of level those temperatures out here for tomorrow through the weekend. But this high pressure over the eastern Pacific, and we haven't seen this so far this summer, but the high pressure over the eastern Pacific is what's really going to give us the heat as we go into next week. Now we're looking at Thursday, July 4th, and look at that bubble of heat. Now, it looks like the main, what we call trough axis, is actually off to our west. So the hottest temperatures at this point look to be the west. But then as we go into your Friday, now we're starting to kind of see that kind of level off a bit here, and that hotter air is actually going to kind of be diving down to the south. That cooler air is going to be riding to our north, helping to drop the temperatures down. So what we can take from this is the fact that the heat is probably going to peak sometime around the middle to latter part of next week. After that, the temperatures should start to drop again. But looking at that trend, oh boy, yes. Today, very nice. Next Wednesday, not so very nice. Upwards of about 110 degrees. Now, a friend of mine sent me an image of his app from his iPhone, and I saw it. I bet you I can maybe even pull it up on my phone. And again, this is where, people say, but I've got an app on my phone. I don't need you. This is when you start going, all right, folks, take a look. So as I look at, and he showed me here, yeah, it takes you out 10 days. It showed in Chico 120 degrees. I'm looking at Redding right now, and it's showing that next Saturday, not this Saturday, but the Saturday after that, 116. At this point, I'm going to say no to that. That's looking at what's called the GFS forecast model. That's the most aggressive one. The European forecast model, not as aggressive with that heat wave. So to jump on 115, 120 at this point in time, way too early to jump on that ship just yet. All right, but as we go into next Wednesday, yeah, we could get up to 110 degrees for that daytime high. Now, I'm going to show you some of the other temperature trends here for many other areas, like Mount Shasta, for example. And the normal high in Mount Shasta is about 80 degrees, but next Wednesday, we're up to about 95 degrees, so about a 15-degree increase from that normal. We take a look at Weaverville. Yeah, Weaverville, I think you'll see some triple digits as early as next Tuesday and going into next Wednesday. We take a look at Alturas. Alturas getting pretty hot too. We'll be about 10 degrees above average here by the time we get to next Thursday. And we take a look at Susanville here, and there you can see getting close to 100 degrees, not out of the question to maybe even see some triple digit heat for Susanville by late next week. And Eureka, oh boy. This is one of those times when you look at all of these temperature trends across the area and say, this is where I want to be, right here. Now, we are actually seeing temperatures getting warmer. Getting all the way up to 67 degrees. You better pull out those air conditioners, make sure they are working for you in Eureka. Okay, just kidding. Don't worry about it too much. But yeah, I mean, we could even see some 70-degree readings along the coast as well for parts of next week. So things are definitely getting warmer out there. At least that's what the long range is showing for now. It's not 100% set in stone, but we can see all the monsoon moisture has shifted off to the east as expected. So we are left with those dry conditions. Wave heights. Fairly low for today, but they will increase as we go into Friday. In fact, increase to a point we may even see a small corrective advisory out there, but for today, that won't be the case. In fact, let's take a look at your marine forecast for today. Those winds from the north at 10 to 15 knots. As I mentioned, no advisories today, but yeah, maybe tomorrow. We may see that small corrective advisory. We'll see. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperature about 87 for a high today in Weaverville. So again, very nice. Look at Burnt Ranch, a high today of about 77 degrees. 76 in Peanut as well as Forest Glen. 81 for Ruth. You can't beat that, right? High in Palm about 75. although High and Palm did just beat that, right? 70 degrees for Miranda, 76 for Garberville, and Red Crest about 67 degrees for that daytime high. All right, we'll take you up to the north here, and you can see Ferndale looking at a high of about 62, 63 degrees for Fortuna, and Rio Dell, a high of about 61 degrees. Take you up north, Blue Lake 67, 80 degrees in Hoopa, 82 for Willow Creek. Temperatures really across the board with the exception of the coast. They're going up. You see how they're going down a little bit here and then back up. That warming trend going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Look for a high of 83 degrees in Orleans today, 68 degrees for Gas Key. And there you can see Oric, a high of about 63 degrees. Here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. And there you can see those temperatures in the mid 80s, give or take, for the Highway 96. Low 80s along Highway or Interstate 5, that is. 81 degrees for Greenview. Look for a high of 81 for Etna and 82 degrees in Callahan. That's for your Scott Valley forecast. And for central and eastern Siskiyou County, those temperatures mid to upper 70s up to the north and east. Otherwise, low 80s for Weed down to McLeod. Here's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast today. I think we'll struggle to get out of the 70s. Some of us could touch that 80-degree mark here, but it's warming up significantly as we go into the weekend. And your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. There you can see Montgomery Creek about 85, 81 for Shingletown. That's around 3,500 feet, but as you go up higher in elevation in Viola, a high of 76, and Paynes Creek about 86 degrees. Lake Elminor, Lassen Park, temperatures in the 70s, 60s and 70s for Lassen Park, and in the 80s around Lake Elminor, although looks like places like Prattville and East Shore and Canyon Dam in the mid to upper 70s for your daytime highs. And your Eastern Mountains to the south, Paradise, you'll see a high of 85 today, and look at that, even Paradise could get up to 100 degrees by next Wednesday. Here is your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Those temperatures are going to be in the low 90s for, say, Red Bluff southward, and really mainly low 90s even as you head up to the north, but I do expect to probably see some mid 90s for some of the warmer spots like Redding with a high of 94, 93 for Cottonwood, and Lakehead a high of about 88 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. Temperatures, as I mentioned, will kind of level out starting tomorrow at about 100 degrees really for Redding for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then temperatures do start to climb after that. 103 on Monday, 108 on Tuesday, and there you can see Wednesday a high of about 110 degrees. So I wanted to actually show you something. Let me see if this kind of pops up here. Unfortunately, I may have to log in, and if that's the case, then I won't be doing it. But let's do something here. I want to show you something. Let's see here. Was that the one? Yes, that's the one. Ooh, it's asking me to log in, or is it? It's asking me to log in. Oh, shoot. That's a bummer. I'd have to look at my login credentials. You know, I might know it. Let me try. See, and then it puts in his thing in there. That's a bummer. Okay, hold on. Is it my Gmail account? We'll try. That bums me out. Nope. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, we'll try this one. Is it gonna work? It's gonna work, yay! Hold on a second here. I'm going to go back over here. Hold on, I apologize for this as I'm trying to get going here. But I wanted to show you some of the forecast model data and show you one of the reasons why some of your apps long range. Maybe showing that. So right now we are looking at the what's called NDFD. This is actually a forecast model from the Weather Service, and this is actually a very reliable source, and this is one of my go-tos. So you can see Wednesday, July 3rd is the peak there. But I want to show you the GFS forecast model. All right, take a look at this. Now, if you look, we're looking at Thursday at the very beginning here. And if you look here, it goes up to about 110 degrees by next Tuesday. Now, next Wednesday, it's showing 116. And then it goes out to about 120 degrees by the Sunday after that. So, a week from this Sunday, right? Chico, let me see. I think I remember, but look at... Now, the euro doesn't go out as far, but the euro, let's take a look at Chico here. So here's the GFS, and yeah, I mean, it takes you into not this Saturday, but a week from Saturday, gets you up to 100 and almost 120 degrees. Now, the app on Apple shows 120 degrees. Now, we look at the European forecast model. That same Saturday that the GFS was showing 120 is showing 109 degrees. So you're talking about a 10-degree difference there. So to jump on board with that 120-degree temperature at this point is like, no, that's way too early to start jumping on that ship here. So don't freak out when you're looking at your apps on your phone if it's not Weather NorCal. Don't freak out if you're looking out at 10 days and it does show 120. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to, let's kind of start with about 110 degrees here, 111, maybe 112 here and there in some spots here by next Wednesday, next Thursday. But the unfortunate thing is it's going to be just oppressively hot, dangerously hot, quite honestly. So that's going to be just in time, unfortunately, for a lot of those 4th of July celebrations where people are outside doing their thing, right? So we need to be careful. We need to be prepared for that and be aware of that as you start making plans for the 4th of July. Let's see what we got going in this morning here. And looks like we still got some more congratulations coming in from right now. We've got our friend Linda McDonald saying congratulations. Thanks always for the great weather forecast with a big smiley face at the end. And what a fun profile picture. Looks like Disneyland in October, I would assume, because that looks like big pumpkins. A lot of fun. So thank you all so much for kind of chiming in there. But yes, we've got a big heat wave coming next week. And we'll try to kind of dive into a few more statistics here in the days to come, and especially as we do go into next week. But, you know, next week is the 4th of July week. And we got a lot of things going on that people have going on outdoors. Now, tomorrow, just quick heads up. The plan is that I will not be here in my studio for the live broadcast. I'm not concerned about, doing it. I can do it. I've done it. I did it at the pancake breakfast for the Asphalt Cowboys pancake breakfast for the Reading Rodeo. And it was successful. I had Wi-Fi access, all that good stuff. And it was a successful show. But one little thing that may prevent me from happening is I have to have Wi-Fi access, number one. And my contact who said that they would give me access to the Wi-Fi for Turtle Bay said that they would text that to me as soon as we talked about it. It's been about 5 days since we talked and I haven't heard back from them. So I'm going to try to contact them again today and see if they can get me that username and password. And before you know it, I will be doing a live broadcast of Celebrate 20 at the Sundial Bridge, Turtle Bay. That is going to be a lot of fun. What a great celebration and what that Sundial Bridge has done for the landscape of Reading and just for the overall morale of Reading. I think it was a great addition. And of course, to have a world-renowned architect, Santiago, right? I forget something along that lines, to do that. And I've actually had the opportunity to check out his same work that was done in Milwaukee, Wisconsin as well, on the lake there. So just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm excited about that too. So be sure to check out Coffee with Kruger tomorrow morning, starting at 7 a.m. And hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully I'll have that live broadcast coming in from Celebrate 20. Friday is the kind of the kickoff day for it. There'll also be some great celebrations coming on this Saturday as well. Great entertainment, Bandaloop. They rappel from the wires and the cables on the Sundial Bridge, and it's a really cool show that they put on, so that'll be a lot of fun as well. So be sure to check that out. All right, folks, let's get you through. That's going to get you through the rest of the day today. Let's cue up that music, shall we? Play that funky music. Let's get it going here, and there it is. And we're going to leave you with some images coming in across Northern California. Thanks again so much for watching this morning. Thank you for the well wishes with the 20-year anniversary. Thank you to all of my sponsors. And we will see you tomorrow morning, hopefully live from Turtle Bay at the Sundial Bridge as we celebrate 20. And we will be out there live, hopefully tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We'll see you then. Until then, have a great and safe day.
Bye.